welcome to episode 137 of Movies and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Marcus.
And this is the review show. We shadow movies from the beginning, sometimes. And today we are covering the 2017 animated release of Batman and Harley Quinn. It is the 30th animated universe, animated original movie thing.
What's
30th one.
In the universe? There's 30 movies in that universe?
No, 30 overall animated. This is the 30th animated movie.
Oh, okay.
This is our 30th review, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow, we watched 30 of these movies. Wow. Okay.
Yes, we did. This movie was directed by Sam Liu.
Has he done most of them, if not all of them? So I know we've seen his name so many times.
Not all of them, but a good portion of them.
Okay.
Screenplay by Bruce Timm and Jim Krieg. We'll get back to those guys.
Yeah, is it Bruce Timm a name?
Yeah, he's the guy who created
okay.
the Batman animated series, and we'll get back to that too.
Gotcha.
This movie stars Kevin Conroy, Melissa Rauch.
Is she the one that passed away?
No one passed away.
One of the Harley Quinns recently passed away.
No, I think it was the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's not her. Lauren Lester, who I think is returning from the animated series along with Kevin Conroy. Paige Brewster, Kevin Michael Richardson, John DiMaggio. Excuse me.
Wait, which one?
He was the guy,
The OG Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Who the hell was the other characters? I thought that was Swamp Thing the whole time until Swamp Thing came out.
No, that's not Swamp Thing. That's a Swamp Thing villain.
Really?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I believe he started out as a what is his name? He first appeared in the Atom. He's an Atom. He's showed up in
The green guy.
No, Adam.
No, the guy you talked about is the guy Adams.
Yeah, the Floronic Man.
That's who that was, his name? Okay, Floronic Man.
Yeah. So it's weird because he was originally a druid from a different dimension and when he was introduced, which is stupid.
It's comic books.
But in recent continuity, he's been reimagined as a scientist from our world. Not our world, the main dimensional world.
Yeah.
And he experimented on the green, which is the connection to nature that Swamp Thing and stuff has. It's metaphysical, don't worry about it. But essentially, he did scientific. He's the one that essentially turned Poison Ivy into Poison Ivy.
Oh.
Yeah. In fact,
was he in the movie?
He was the doctor that turned Poison Ivy into Poison Ivy, yes.
Oh, and
Batman and Robin.
That one? Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he turned...
I respect that movie more now.
And then he actually turned himself into the Floronic Man. And he's just a found science, in recent continuity, he's a found science experiment. Or maybe not found, honestly. He kind of intended to do it to himself.
Yeah, kind of like the lizard, I guess. Like, it didn't work as intended, but still worked.
Right, and he pretty much, up until, like, even the most recent Poison Ivy comic, it seemed like he kind of forced Ivy into this. But now they're writing it that she was like so obsessed with the stuff that she actually volunteered for it. But still, he pretty much took advantage of her and manipulated her into it and stuff like that.
I like it that way more, honestly.
So, but yeah, he's originally an Atom in, I want to say, Justice League. I know he was also in the Flash for a little bit before he was relaunched and became a main Swamp Thing antagonist.
Okay.
He actually, if you ever watched that short-lived Swamp Thing TV show that was released within the last 10 years or so.
It was on Disney, right, I believe?
No, HBO Max.
The Grim Dark one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I did not watch it.
I mean, at the end of that, the Floronic Man actually shows up in a cliffhanger ending that we'll never get resolution to.
That's sad.
But yeah, that's who that is. Where was I? John DiMaggio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eric Balza, Robert Ackett Downs, Trevor Duvall, Rob Paulson, Mindy Sterling, and Bruce Timm. Behind the scenes is they actually outsourced the animation to a South Korean studio.
Really?
Yes.
Looks good.
I got issues with the art.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks reminiscent of the show.
Well, that's part of the problem. And I think part of the reason why we get some shots in this that...
Oh, is it the upskirt shots and the stylization of Harley?
I think that's why I think that's probably from the South Korean side. But
I don't think so.
But maybe not, because there's another theory that I have that might explain that too.
Yeah.
This movie spun 2 comic books, one before and one after it, taken before and after.
Oh, okay.
This movie was also briefly released in theaters.
Really?
Yeah, because of the financial success of The Killing Joke.
I thought this would do good in theaters.
Which we'll come back to also. This movie has a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sorry. You imagine sitting down watching this, like, let's put this movie in theaters. It'll do this. No way. It's so stupid. What decision? Who made that decision?
I mean, like the last superhero animated movie made some money in theaters. Let's put this one. It was like a limited release kind of thing.
Yeah, but I was like, this isn't good. This is definitely straight to DVD. It released
here, Australia, and the Netherlands.
Yeah, I would have rather gone to the Sathra DC superhero girl movie in theaters than this.
Anyway, this movie...
Like, who's this for? Like, who's going to sit there and this, like, I'm glad I paid money to see this in theaters?
Yeah, but that's the trick of it. They don't know that before you go into it.
I know, but it's like, at least superhero girls, you know the audience is, like, a lot of little girls. Like, let's go, or, like, a lot of little kids. Let's go see it as parents. Like, oh, I guess. Like, that would have made money. This...
Fair enough. Can I get through this?
Yeah, sure.
This movie has a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, and...
That's pretty low for one of these films, isn't it?
For one of these films, and even the 50% makes sense because the reviews are kind of mixed. Some hating it, some liking it. So, and I can see why people like it, and I can see why some people hate it.
Yeah. Same, yeah.
And we'll come back to all of that. But this movie doesn't have a budget that I know of. But it made $32,671 in Australia and $6,420 in the Netherlands, and making it $39,091 internationally, and a worldwide box office of... I don't know why I went into so much detail with this, but I did.
You were curious.
Yeah, it's $31,069 total.
Wow.
But it earned $971,000 in DVD sales, and then $1,182 in Blu-ray sales, earning it $2,153. So that's since they outsourced this to South Korea, this is probably a profit on their part.
Most definitely a profit.
With that's the box office.
Yeah, the 2017 box office. We visited a few times before. We're going to do it again.
2019?
17. Not 19 yet. Number 1 was Star Wars Episode
7.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. 7? 5, 6, 7. Episode 8. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, with $1.3 billion. So let's keep that in mind. But we're going to do numbers, because we've done the section before, so we're going to keep going. 69 through 60, because we did 70 already. That was the commuter with $119 million. So 69 through 60. At 69 with $122 million, a movie called The Secret Superstar. Want to guess that one?
My guts tell me, and it's probably wrong, but it's telling me it's somebody secretly good at something and then discovered or some shit like that.
Wow, teacher, how'd you figure that out?
Was I right?
Yeah, I want to see if it's based on a true story. Like, it sounds like something based on a true story. As it says, Secret Superstar, a talented teenage singer-songwriter living amid domestic abuse becomes a YouTube sensation after a video in which she hides her identity goes viral.
Oh, well. Yeah, I guess I was.
Yeah, look, you're better off than last week or the week before. Whenever we did
that. Well, that week before was bullshit.
It really was. Is this? I don't know if it's based off a true story or not. It says very passionate about it. Okay. What number is that? At number 68. We have the Lego Ninjago movie. Ninjago? Yeah, Ninjago movie with $123 million. Any idea what that's about, DJ?
I have no clue what that one's about.
Sarcasm?
It's about Lycans.
Sarcasm, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lego ninjas.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's no way he doesn't know about this. He's not that old. Yep. Shunned by everyone for being the son of an evil warlord, a teenager seeks to defeat him with the help of his fellow ninjas. So yeah. Enough of that. At number 67, another Child's movie with $125.427 million. We have Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. You there?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I recognize the name Captain Underpants.
I thought you should.
I'm trying to remember if it's based off of a video game.
Off of what?
If it's a video game or a comic book, though.
It's based off a children's book series.
Well, everything's based off a book series.
Yeah.
So,
It was made, I think, in the early 2000s because the book series for
okay.
younger kids.
I'm thinking about something else.
Oh, what are you thinking about?
I don't remember the name of it, but it's about a kid who.
Diary of the Wimpy Kid?
No, he has he uses his pajamas to turn himself into a superhero.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Shazam! No, I'm kidding. That does sound familiar.
Yeah, I must be thinking of that, but I do know what Captain Underpants is too. Yeah.
Captain Underpants. Let me read the script real quick. Two overly imaginative pranksters named George and Harold hypnotize their principal into thinking he's ridiculously enthusiastic, incredibly dim-witted superhero named Captain Underpants. I remember this. I used to read some of these books when I was younger, just out of curiosity. They're okay. I didn't watch this movie because it has Kevin Hart and God, what's this guy's name? Oh, Tom Middleton's in here. Ed Helms, Nick Kroll, Jordan Peele, Kristen Schaal, Brian Posehn, Dee Dee Rescher. There's a lot of comedians in this. Wow.
It's a comedy movie.
True. But Kevin Hart, he's loud and annoying, so I don't care for his movies that much. With $125.479 million.
On that point, that Kevin Hart is loud and annoying. Surprised you're not like a famous movie star.
This guy's funny, guys. Am I loud and annoying, TJ?
Yes.
Well, ouch. That hurts. Are my jokes as one notice is? Probably, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Listen, TJ, I'm funny in my eyes, okay?
That's why you're not the writer.
Go f yourself. At number 66 for $125.479 million, a movie called Happy Death Day. Have you heard of this one?
The name actually sounds familiar.
It was very popular, spun off a sequel or two.
I have no idea what it's about. I can take a guess.
Yeah, take a guess.
I kind of want to lean towards the Day of the Dead, the Mexican mythology, something like that, but like that kind of afterworld kind of thing.
No, not at all.
But no, I didn't think it was. That's why I said it kind of. But it's probably about someone dying.
Over and over and over again. Yeah. A college student must relive the day of her murder over and over again in a loop that will only end when she discovers her killer's identity. So it's Groundhog Day meets a slasher film.
Oh, right. Yeah, I do remember seeing trailers for that movie, and that's my idea was better.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's surprisingly not a bad film. I mean, that's why I made a sequel, but yeah, shockingly entertaining. At number 65 with $130 million with a movie called A Bad Mom's Christmas.
Wow. That one could be like a comedy, like a Bad Santa kind of thing.
Yeah, that's all we needed to hear. Pretty much, okay. Yeah. We did do one of these beforehand. It's like I think this is the sequel or the third one. I think it's like a few of these in movies. But yeah, for the most part, as their own mother drops in unexpectedly, our three underappreciated and overburdened moms rebel against the challenges and expectations of the Super Bowl of Mothers, Christmas. So yeah, it's just moms being raunchy and just like having these kids, responsibilities kind of shits.
But that name could have also led to a really bad drama.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, Bad Mother Christmas about abusive mother and stuff like that.
Bad Mom's Christmas.
Mom's Christmas?
Yeah, MOMS.
I for some reason I said, what did I say?
Mother.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
My bad.
No, you're bad. I heard wrong.
Maybe I said it wrong. Who knows? At 64 of $134 million, a movie called American Made. Guess that.
Jesus Christ, that could have been anything. That could be anything from a rising country rock star or thing to a freaking coming of age story. Or
if I tell you who's starring in this, will it help you?
No. Because I'm not going to lie, you're probably going to say a name and I'm not going to have no idea who it is.
No, you'll know the name. If you don't know this name, I'd be really shocked. You'll know this name.
What's the name?
Tom Cruise.
That also does not help whatsoever. American Made?
American Made, yep.
I'm just going to take a long shot guess that I know is not wrong. It's about car manufacturing.
No. If you would have guessed this, I would have been shocked. It's loosely based off a true story. The story of Barry Seal, an American pilot who became a drug runner for the CIA in the 1980s, and a clandestine operation that would be exposed as the Iran-Contra affair.
That name is so vague. How was I supposed to guess that? You know, this game that we play on this thing is tailor-made for me because I know shit about movies.
I know, but you get them right sometimes because some of the names are so like on the nose generic, like you kind of get it. This is entertaining.
But like these movies came out in 2017, and I haven't heard of a single one of them. I mean, I've heard of a couple of them, but like out of the top 100, I've heard of like what 15 of them, maybe.
Maybe. Top 100. No, well, not counting superhero movies, because remember, Star Wars was number 1, Beauty and the Beast number 2, in fact, The Fate of the Furious, Despicable Me, Jumanji. Coco. You know Coco, right?
Which one?
You kind of said it earlier, Day of the Dead. It's the Disney animated movie about the little kid that goes to the world to get.
Oh, the Pixar movie.
Is Pixar Disney? Yeah, Pixar, I guess, one of them.
Oh.
It's really good. It's a really good movie.
But even if I heard of it, like I said, if that happens, like, which one's that?
That's fair. Okay, we got a few more. Let's get this over with. Number 63 of $140 million, we have a movie called Girls Trip. You might get this one.
Girls Trip. Again, it's very generic, and it's like, it could be anything, and it's I almost want to say, I'm going to just take the most obvious guess and say it's about a couple of girls on a road trip.
Yep, for the most part, when 4 lifelong friends travel to New Orleans for the annual Essence Festival, sisterhoods are rekindled, wild sides are rediscovered, and there's enough dancing, drinking, brawling, and romancing to make the Big Easy blush. Yeah, it's kind of like...
It's almost a romantic comedy road trip kind of thing.
Yeah, it's more I think it's R-rated, if I recall. It's more like a female version of Hangover, kinda.
Yeah.
/ Bridesmaid, capitalizing off that success of those movies. Is it R? I feel like it's rated R. Yeah, it's rated R. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's what you expect. Okay, you should know this. And number 62, with $142 million, we have Power Rangers.
That's it?
Power Rangers.
Oh, is it that garbage reboot?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw this one thinking like it was like in the same vein of the Fantastic Four reboot. It was like, okay, go dark and gritty with it, I guess, and whatever.
I mean, I grew up with Power Rangers, so...
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that I watched when I was a kid, so...
Did you like the reboot or no? Did you see this reboot?
No.
You didn't see it or you didn't like it?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I told you, I don't watch movies.
We should probably review this. I wonder, because were you a big Power Rangers fan as a kid?
I was a big Power Rangers fan of the original Power Rangers.
He's a purist, ladies and gentlemen.
And the second series. But anything past that, I don't ask.
Really?
Yeah, I got up to the White Ranger.
No, I was never a fan of the show, so I don't... I mean, I know who the White Ranger is, but I never really followed the lore.
Well, the White Ranger was the Green Ranger from the original series, and he was always my favorite.
I think he passed away recently, too.
Yeah, he did.
Were you sad about that?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but,
Life, right?
He was young, so...
What did he die? I'm not cool. I don't care what he died of, but I wonder if it was like a natural cause or just some weird...
I don't know.
Old 80s stuff. Yeah, so Power Rangers. When Earth is on the verge of an alien invasion, 5 teenagers who are infused with superhuman abilities must harness their newfound powers to battle this threat as the Power Rangers. Go, Power Rangers. Yeah, well. Okay, number 60. Oh, God. 60. Where are we at? 61. With $145 million. We have a movie called The Foreigner.
What is with these freaking generic names again?
We're at that age of cinema where it's like
is it like The Foreigner as it's just like a statement, or is it ominous like The Foreigner?
I don't think I can answer that without giving the movie away. A little bit of both, I think.
Because literally it could be just about a foreigner in a different country, or it could be as insidious as, there's an infiltration from a foreign, like there was an American who is actually a Russian spy or some shit like that.
I mean, that's the point of the titles nowadays, to be so vague that they got to bring people in.
That doesn't bring people in. It's like, it's so vague and generic. It's like, well, why would I go see it?
Well, because they're competing with streaming services. Like, okay, let's get people butts in the seats by giving them The Foreigner. Because it stars a big name. It stars Jackie Chan, and also Pierce Brosnan's in this too.
Oh, that's nice. Let's name the Foreigner movie The Foreigner.
Listen, teacher, let me tell you what this is about. A humble businessman with a buried past seeks justice when his daughter is killed in an act of terrorism. A cat-and-mouse conflict ensues with a government official whose past may hold clues to the killer's identities.
So it's just Taken, only a revenge version.
Yep, that's all it is. Yeah, it's just another flavor of Taken.
Which I've also never seen.
The first Taken is, can I say it's good? It was good for the time it was made. I don't know if it holds up or not. The Foreigner, it's slow. It's okay. Okay, last for this box office, you should know this. At number 60 with $149 million, we have King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
I mean, it's mythology. It's kind of up my alley, and I know the question is not what this movie is about. It's what King Arthur they're talking about.
Ooh, what do you mean by that?
Because there's so many different takes on King Arthur. So is this like a young King Arthur? Is this King Arthur with his knights of the round?
Oh, what you're saying.
Is it just the name of the movie and it's just about Camelot and knights, or it could be anything.
I didn't see this one because I don't like King Arthur. So let me read the description. Let's see what you think.
Not like King Arthur. It's the most basic of fantasy tropes.
That is basic. It's been overdone to death visually. So it's like, which one do I watch? Which one do I read? Like, what do I sit down and like make it the core one? Whereas Lord of the Rings might be basic, but it's only one Lord of the Rings. There's not 20 versions of Lord of the Rings. Well, I guess there are, but...
There are 20 versions. Every freaking fantasy story ever is basically Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but based off it. Whereas there's Lord of the Rings, there's a show on Amazon, there's the prequels, and then there's the animated one.
That's because it's a franchise.
Yeah.
And it isn't as old as King Arthur.
Exactly.
So like it isn't mythology like King Arthur is.
Yeah, that's why I feel like King Arthur, because it's IP, not IP, it's public domain, right? Like King Arthur, I assume.
Yeah, it's pretty much in the same vein as the Greek gods and stuff like that.
But not as interesting.
It's interesting.
Not as interesting as Greek gods.
It's got dragons and swords and all kinds of shit in it.
Fun fact: I was thinking to myself this other day. I don't care for dragons really. I never was like a big fan of dragons and wrens and drakes and all that kind of shit. Like, yeah, just flying lizards. They're cool, I guess, but like,
they're cool. Yeah, they're fine.
I can go about that in my fantasy completely fine.
But like that's my
Besides
point
How to
is,
Train Your Dragon, it's a great movie.
It's basic mythology fantasy is King Arthur, like almost the basis of.
Yeah, but there's no goblins in it. There's none of that shit, and there's just some guys.
There's magic and shit in it.
Yeah, but I don't care about the guy. What's his name? Merlin.
King Arthur. Merlin?
Yeah, he ain't no Gandalf.
He's the original Gandalf.
Yeah, but he ain't Gandalf.
He's what Gandalf was based off of.
Yeah, but Gandalf's better than Merlin.
You want the definitive King Arthur story?
Sword in the Stone?
Yep.
You goddamn 80s kid. Robbed of his birthright, Arthur comes up the hard way in the back alleys of the city. Oh, God. Oh, that sounds awful. But once he pulls his sword from the stone, he is forced to acknowledge his true legacy, whether he likes it or not.
Like I said, this is just another freaking take on it. Like,
yeah,
and this one's young King Arthur.
Yeah. You don't sound happy about that, TJ.
No, that sounds garbage.
It's made by Guy Ritchie. He's a good director. Have you seen the movie?
No.
You probably haven't. Snatch?
No.
From 2000?
No.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels from 1998?
Look, I'm going to say this. People say Christopher Nolan's a good director.
Because he is a good director, TJ. Did we not like Dark Knight, whatever it was?
No.
They were great movies, TJ.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie of his that I like. But to be fair, I think I've only seen 3 of his movies.
I would love for you to sit through Interstellar and see how much you hate that. Not Interstellar. That's a bad one, too. Inception.
Yeah, I don't think I like that movie.
That's the box office. Back to you, TJ.
I got trailers.
Oh, you always sound so sad. What trailers you get?
Hold on. I got a trailer for Teen Titans: The Judas Contract, which we didn't like. I got a trailer for Justice League Dark, which we did like.
Yes. Yeah, that's so good. That's a good movie.
I got a trailer for Justice League.
The live action one?
Yeah.
Can we seriously skip that one and just say we did it? Like, we're not doing this for anybody. Like, do we really have to sit through that movie, TJ?
Yeah.
We can say we recorded it and like it got tampered with and it got lost and we just never release it and never do it. And then have the fans ask for the director's cut of it, our review, and there we go. We really have to do this. I still want to sit through that movie.
And then we got a trailer for Wonder Woman.
I just could not care for that movie. It was so boring.
I like that movie.
It's so boring. I forgot we did it already. You said that like, oh yeah, we did review that, didn't we?
No, I didn't say that. Do we have to do this one?
This was the Harley Quinn one?
Yeah.
I would say no if I didn't really sit through, but since I sat through this...
Look, I'm going to say this right now. This may be one of the worst movies I've ever watched.
Wow, you hated it that much.
I didn't hate it as much as I hated Wonder Woman, the animated one, but this may be the worst written script I've ever seen.
As I was sitting... We have no more preamble, do we?
No.
Yeah,
That's why I was kind of...
Yeah, because this movie starts one way, It doesn't know what tone it wants.
That's the tone is so all over the place.
And that's is it trying to be reminiscent of the 60s? Is it trying to be the, 80s Batman of the show? Is it trying to be, it doesn't know what it wants, and the characters aren't consistently the thing they wants it to be. So it's like, one moment they're all serious, the next moment they're all just jokey, laughy, dumb shit.
They're all Looney Tune characters.
But not in a good way, though.
No, the tone is garbage, man. They're like, it literally has no idea what it's doing.
And I'd be fine if it was like that. Like if the tone was so wacky the whole time, be fine. Like, not wacky, but if it was like one way, then one way, then one way, then one way, the whole time, be fine. But it was like for one act, it's this way. Then it just changes for another act, and then it changes again. So it's not as a quick, consistent back and forth switch. So I was like, wait, what? Now we're doing this?
Yeah. So this movie also turned me sour on Bruce Timm.
Is he the one that did the other one?
He's the animated. He's one of the creators of the animated the original animated Batman series.
So why did he turn sour on?
Because he's also the guy that made Batman sleep with Batgirl.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, he's that one. Okay, yeah.
So in this movie, feels like a self-indulgent teenager's wet dream.
Yep.
And it also feels like what happens when you give George Lucas episode 1 and there's no one controlling him, no one edited him, and no one stopping him from letting out his worst instincts.
Wow.
Because this is good stuff is not made by a single person. It's made by a team.
Yeah, sadly,
and
yeah.
He just, when he's allowed to just do what he wants to do, he makes shit, and his preferences come out in that. And I don't think he's, honestly, I could be completely off the mark, but I'm getting the feeling he's kind of a sleazy guy.
Yeah. Or if he's not sleazy, like I say, he's a teenage boy in an adult body. So he's like the animated version of Zack Snyder. Like, the teenage boys will like this, so I'm going to make it for them because I like it. It's like, maybe don't do that.
In the middle of this movie, there's literally just 2 minutes of a fart joke.
I laughed at it. I thought it was funny, but I was like, if the movie started off this way, sure. That's the tone. But it's just randomly in there. It's like, okay. There's random sex scenes and...
It's self-indulgent garbage.
Then it tries to have, like, serious moments of... like, we have really just levity in it. Like, you don't earn this movie.
And, like, I told you earlier, I didn't like the art style because the art style is inconsistent. Like, they take the character designs from the Batman, The New Adventures, which is the third season of the original animated series for like Batman, Nightwing, and Ivy.
Yeah. And
it doesn't mix in with the modern stuff. Like, all these character designs are around the Floronic Man, which looks like he's designed today or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like, even just his voice, like, he does not fit physically, and his voice isn't, like, he's just like so out of place in this movie.
Yeah, and he's overpowered as hell. I don't know who this guy is, but okay.
That's why I thought it was the damn thing. Like, it's gotta be not the thing. Swamp Thing. Like, that's gotta be Swamp Thing, right? Like, oh, it's just not him.
No, it's not.
I thought it was their bad version of Swamp Thing. Like, he looks terrible for Swamp Thing. Like, oh, it's not him.
And the bad guys in this are the Floronic Man and Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
And they do put some more things in here, but they only chose them and put these two together because they're plant themed.
Yep.
And because there's a connection between Ivy and Harley.
Uh-huh.
And here's another thing. The characterizations of this are clearly drawn from the animated series characterizations. Yes. Not comic book. But at this time, these characterization of these characters is really insulting to these characters.
Yeah, I can't argue that. Yeah, like it's just like he had a hand in the show, right?
Bruce Timm?
Yeah,
he was one of the creators.
But it just feels like a fanboy got a hold of it and made bad fan fiction of it.
But here's the thing: it was almost like Nightwing sleeps with Harley Quinn in this.
Yeah,
I mean, Harley Quinn would sleep with Nightwing, but not under the circumstances in which it happened. First of all. And then 2, Nightwing would never do it.
No, exactly.
Like, I've said many times that Nightwing is my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
And because he is everything that Batman is, but he's also everything that Superman is, because they both kind of raised him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the best of both of those worlds, and he's got Superman's moral center. He would not sleep with Harley Quinn like this. No. And take advantage of that situation. 2, he wouldn't be that much of a dick to her. Like, oh, you're a waitress? Oh. Because, in this Harley Quinn is one-off grid and decided to become a waitress to go straight. And then Batman and Nightwing treat that as if that's a bad thing.
Right? Like, they should be happy if she did that.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you're just a waitress. Oh,
Right? Like, no, she's trying to be straight and narrow. Like, guys, like, that's good.
Yeah.
So no matter what level you think it's for her, like, that's good.
And then the overall sexualization of Harley Quinn itself, and just the overall sexualization of everything in this movie.
Which, I'll give the movie this. I didn't like that. Gonna care for it. It was, like I said, it was too sexualized with fart jokes and just stupid shit for kids. But this feels like a stepping stone for the Harley Quinn show on HBO, right? They have the same kind of show, but like...
No, that show is actually good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this feels like, okay, we're going to do it this way and do terrible at it. But hopefully something in the... Like, they didn't plan it out, obviously. But like, that show saw this, like, we can do this better. This is trash. Let's make it a good version of this. And the show did a good job of it. So I feel like this was just like a bad version of what that is.
No, because I think that's insulting to the even that's insulting to the show.
I know. This is the first draft of what that show is. This is the first ideas, the first everything spent to them script.
Except that show's funny and this isn't.
I know. This is, I'm not giving this movie any credit like this is good or anything. It's just...
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I mean, this movie is just so bad that it's kind of hard that anything could have come out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. Let's run down what happens and why it happens in this movie.
Sure, I guess. I actually wrote notes for this movie. That's how bad this movie was.
Oh, no.
So it opens up with bad music. Like, are we in the 60s Batman show?
Which is fine. If that was the tone throughout the movie. Except
even the opening music's tone doesn't know, because it starts off like 80s Batman and then it's just morphs into 60s Batman, and it's like, what is this garbage?
It's completely fine if that was a tone. If it looks like the 80s Batman with the 60s vibe, cool. If it has a consistent weird tone throughout it, I was ready for it. But it didn't have that tone. It was just like, it didn't know what it wanted. But I think it's a good way to like, we're going to do this tone, guys. Sit down and ready for it. Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I don't even remember how this movie opens.
I had to script through it too. The Green Gang is hacking.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to do
so
shit.
Ivy's teamed up with the Floronic Man. We already went through the Floronic Man's history. And if you don't know who Poison Ivy is, why are you listening to this? And their goal is to turn everybody on Earth into plant people. And they need a scientist, and they're working on a formula to do it. That's the overall plan.
Yep.
Honestly, basic Poison Ivy storyline.
Yeah, nothing complicated.
And they, I don't know what happens.
You're just so seething with rage the whole time. How dare you do upskirt? So Batman and Nightwing are called on to investigate, the huge, and they investigate.
That's my whole point.
A lot of nothing happens in this movie.
There's a lot of nothing that happens in this movie because it's going from serious stuff happening, and then, oh my god, look at this crazy antics happening over here. And then it's just like...
Because a lot of nothing happens, but when something happens, it's really stupid. Like, it just makes you like, did I just lose a brain cell watching that? So this movie is just completely... Because then it ends on a stupid note, too. So Ivy and Rockman, whatever his name is, they're trying to turn the world green. Batman, Nightwing on the case and trying to solve it. They need to get help from Harley because she's a connection. She used to be a relationship. This movie's vague with...
No.
Why they need her?
Well, yeah, they have a history, but in the animated series, they were just friends.
Yeah, but for some reason,
but I think at this time in comic books, I think Ivy and Harley are actually an item.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't remember the official date because it was weird. There was kind of I'm going to say a war going on at DC at the time, where there was a bunch of writers that were like against Harley and Ivy being together and wanted to go one way with DC, and then a bunch of other guys were like, yeah, this is what we want, and we want them together. And they were like, it was almost, I hate to use this word, woke versus unwoke a bit.
Yeah.
In DC at the time. And to the point where they were gonna, the one group was planning on releasing this next phase of DC Comics called Future State, where they move everything like 20 years in the future and create like all new superheroes and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Which sounded terrible. And I'm glad that side lost. And they went to where they were now. But
You know what's funny? Like, if this was going on and I was in the area of this happening, if I was in the studio, whatever you want to call it, the shop, I think I would have initially been against them being together. Solely for the fact it feels like I love Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy together. It's a great story. I think it's amazing. But I think if someone were to pitch it to me, it's like, what are you, a teenage boy? Want to see two girls kill? Like, it just feels like a thing that they want because weird fandoms and monies. So I feel like I would have been against it initially, like, you guys, unless you guys make a good story out of it, I don't want to.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah,
I don't know where it started, the Harley and Ivy thing, but that relationship had been budding for a very long time up to the point where they were all kind of canon, but DC was like, we're not going to tell people it's canon. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
They kind of like they wouldn't even. They got to a point where they took Poison Ivy out of the Harley Quinn comic books. They weren't allowed to use her for a little while because they didn't want anything to do with it. Like, I might be, like, remembering this wrong, so don't quote me on all this. But, like, this is what I remember. Like, because I remember her just disappearing and why they weren't utilizing that more.
Yeah, because it's a great storyline. I like them all together. It's great.
Like, I do, in fact, remember there was a big fight about making them an item.
Yeah, I have heard of this before, so you saying it does relate some things in my brain.
But it was been building for, I'm going to say, a decade at that point.
Okay.
So, like, it was to the point where, like, people wanted it to happen. It made sense that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then, finally, they eventually were like, yeah. And now there's the Harley Quinn TV show is basically about that. So.
Which is great, because, again, they're great. And you add the Joker into it, too, to make it more chaotic. And
well, that's the thing. Ivy was there for Harley to help her get over the Joker.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it kind of, and, you know, Harley is the type of personality to latch onto somebody like that.
Yes.
And Ivy was the type of loner character, and Harley was really the only one able to penetrate that side of her. You know what I mean?
Which is perfect. So, like, I like that. But I feel like if it was just Bruce, what's his name? Bruce Timm, would just come up to me like, yo, what if Harley and Poison Ivy got together? Would it be hot? Like, nah.
A part of me thinks he made Nightwing and Harley Quinn sleep together because he was like, screw you fans that hated me putting Batman with Bruce together. How do you like that? Batman and Batgirl together. How do you like this?
No, this is still better than that. I think anything's kind of better than that, really.
Well, no, I know, but he's like, because Batgirl was supposed to, canonically, right now in comics, is with Nightwing.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you like this, Nightwing? And you know what? It was consensual in this, but the way it looked, though, it looks like Harley was gonna rape Nightwing.
Yeah, no matter what, she was gonna have her way with him. So he was kind of like, I guess.
So it's like, it's just gross.
Yeah. Well, let me finish this up real quick. So Batman and Nightwing get Harley because she has connections with Poison Ivy because they used to be a thing. So through all along the way, they have trust issues. But by the time Harley, Nightwing, and Batman get to Poison, they save the day by did they save the day? They saved the day by letting Poison Ivy kind of like have her heart broken by Harley again, like melted and become in love with her again, yada yada yada. And she betrays. It's just
okay. So you jumped from. Okay.
Well, it's just an overall summary. We could definitely criticize the anime.
I just thought because they had two encounters. They fought twice.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the first time. I'm like, what are you talking about? That didn't happen the first time around. And that's not what happened.
Well, she wins. Harley does win over Poison Ivy.
She does, but she does it by crying.
Yeah, and, I love you.
And it wasn't it was more like she can't help herself when Harley cries.
Yes, which is adorable. I love that.
Yeah, it's a good trope. Ivy and Harley always worked.
Yes, it makes sense.
But yeah, and that's enough to turn Ivy and
then they set the guy on fire and call it a movie. That's
no. Don't skip over this ending.
No. We're still going to tear this movie apart, but that's the overall summary. There's shit I don't like in this movie. I don't like the upskirt shit. It's weird.
That's garbage.
It's okay to sexualize Harley all you want, but it's just like
Nightwing's looking for Harley and finds her at a super. I guess it's female super
hero or super person,
super diner.
Yeah, it's a theme.
And they're all the waiters are dressed in sexually inappropriate outfits.
Yeah, like Wonder Woman.
Supergirl and stuff like that.
It's a Who Knows What superhero theme. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that exist?
And Harley's in there, and she's in a like mini skirt, and she leans over, and there's upskirt shots and stuff, and it's
and it fits that. Like I don't have it. Like it makes sense on where and what scene it's in. It's just still like I don't like it.
It makes sense that it would happen. But you can still have that scene and have the guy grab her ass without showing her underwear.
Yeah, you don't have to linger on it for her. As long as you did.
When she has Nightwing tied to her bed,
yeah,
she doesn't need to take off her clothes and be in her underwear.
Especially since it goes to dark.
You know what my problem is? With the sexualization of Harley Quinn is the animation. Because she looks like she's 12.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Like, the animation style does not look right with her. She looks like she's a kid.
Yep.
And that she's in her sexual. It looks like they're sexualizing the kid.
Yeah, especially because she acts like a kid too. So it's like this isn't fun to watch.
Right, and it's almost like not even just a kid. And I don't mean to be insensitive, but almost like a mentally unstable kid.
Yes, because she is mentally unstable. So it's like I don't want to.
Right, and
they don't try to play it up to make it cringe. They try to play it up like this is hot, right, guys? Like this is hot. This is uncomfortable.
Right, and then Nightwing takes advantage of it.
Yeah,
and then it's like they try to play it up the rest of the movie of him trying to defend her and stuff like that, but it doesn't work.
Which I would say, I guess I could argue if he was younger, it'd be like kind of makes sense, but
right, this is Nightwing. This isn't him as Robin.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's at the age where he knows better. He's not mentally weak.
If this was Robin,
sure,
it would make more sense, but it's not. Like they chose the specific animation style, which I hated that animation style anyway from the New Adventures because they changed all the original character designs from the original show to these bland looking, garbage looking styles for some reason.
I like the art style.
No, the art style is garbage.
I enjoyed it.
I lost my train of thought.
She's a child trying to have sex with a child kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was just if they would have played it up in a better tone, I think it would have been okay, but they just make it happen. Like you said, there's a fart joke in it, which I did find funny at first. It's like Batman's reaction to it I found funny.
It went on too long though.
That. It was like, okay, we get she's farting, guys. Get it. Like,
it would have been funny. Like Batman's reaction. Batman's always at his best when everything around him is ridiculous and he's just deadpanning.
Yes,
because they showed how well that could be done in Justice League Dark. It's just like, and I thought Batman just serious and a ridiculous situation is the most amusing thing you can have.
And I thought they're going to do that because when he's going around interviewing people and they're all just doing their dumb shit, I enjoyed that. When she first farted, he's like, just get over Robin or Nightwing, it's fine. But then it keeps going and then he starts reacting to it like, oh, you kind of ruined it, guys. Because he kind of ruined it. Yeah, because you said he's great as a serious person to the thing. And
it's like, but once he's susceptible to the goofiness around him, it's not funny anymore.
Yes.
Like, and another thing, they go to the sidekick bar.
Oh my god, yeah. I was about to say that, yeah.
You know what's funny about this is gonna be mean. The karaoke, the Harley Quinn singer cannot sing.
No.
It was garbage. But the two guys beforehand, they could sing.
Well, I think they just took the audio recording of the songs. I like that song a lot. I feel like they took the audio recording of it and just took it and used it.
Well, that's probably a good idea because that was really good.
Yeah, and I love that song. I'm like, oh, this is a great song. Add it to my playlist of Spotify. It's a good song.
But the Harley Quinn song was garbage.
I was like, oh my god, and it lasted forever. I was like, just get that over.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Batman being Batman, fine. Until they all want to fight him, he's got a glass of milk, chugs it, and like smiles at the camera. Bring it on, guys! Like,
right?
No,
but when the guys come over and start hassling him, he just backhand punches them, without reacting. That's funny, But then they show Nightwing doing a stupid dance. That's stupid.
Yes,
it's like
they should be the straight men through this movie. Like they should be like, what the f*** is going on?
Like, Nightwing should not be a straight man. But he should be in on in on the jokes. He should be he should be more like Harley Quinn because he's more of a trash talker. He's more of a Spider-Man type character, but he's not. He's just kind of like the butt of a joke a lot of the time. And it's just garbage.
I enjoyed him when the phone call came and he was like, not this person, not this person, not this person in his own way. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, that was funny because they got the joke that Booster Gold is a loser.
Exactly.
And all the guys that they had in reserve were also the rejects of the
Yeah,
Justice League.
yeah.
So that makes sense. That's a funny joke. Like, there's a funny joke here and there, but it's only here and there.
Yes.
That's why you need a good team behind you to be like, oh yeah, that's a funny joke. Let's use that.
Yeah.
But all this other crap that you're putting in here, let's not use that.
And like, if you go the comedy route, have more of it in there. Like, you don't need all of them to be funny, but have more jokes in it. Because then it goes like to super serious. Here's the scientist, and he's murdered, and here we have a really overly sad
and
scene.
here's the big problem. Here's the biggest problem in this movie. There's two different movies going.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Like, the bad guys, if you're going to do, either the bad guys had to be more comedic, or Harley Quinn needed to be more serious.
Yes.
But, and since it's called Batman and Harley Quinn, that means its focus is going to be on Harley Quinn. You're going to go more comedy with it, because she's more of a Deadpool type character.
Yeah.
So the bad guys should have been more comedic.
Exactly.
And then have Batman as the through line, as the serious tone. Meanwhile, I think they should have had a more ridiculous plan. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to create plant monsters or something that wasn't apocalyptic, something stupid.
Anything,
you know what I mean? Something that makes sense in the context of the comedic tone, and not have these two ongoing movies happening at the same time that are consistently clashing into each other.
Like, this would have been a good story to have in the hands of the people who did Justice League Dark. Like, if they would have done this would be a great movie, because there's something here.
Right. And I think they saw that movie and like, oh, that's good. Let's take pieces of that. And it's like they took pieces of different movies and put it into the script where, like, oh, I like that. Let me put that in here and let that and that and that.
Like,
and then
like Bruce Timm saw that movie, he's like, I could do that. And he clearly cannot do that.
He's like, and then he saw another movie that I could do that, and another one I could do that, and he kind of put it all together, and it's like, ain't I a genius now?
It's like, no, you did not do good at this, buddy.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. So what else happens? And then like the whole third act is fine until it's not. It's like, okay, it's building up to something, I guess. Swamp Thing comes up, has this big monologue, disappears.
Yeah, you have the Harley betrayal and stuff like that.
Totally fine.
Yeah, everything. It's paint by numbers superhero at this point, which is, you're right. It's fine because it's paint by numbers superhero.
Exactly. You can't f this up.
Yeah.
Until they f it up, like.
And until they f it up. Exactly.
It's like, well, how'd you guys, because they didn't know how it's like something I would do. I don't know how to end this, it. Let's just have them kiss and set someone on fire. Like that's not an ending.
It's even worse than that, because like Batman, Nightwing, and Harley can't beat the Floronic Man. He has the upper hand. And then Swamp Thing shows up to save the day. And then he says, this is none of my business, and goes away.
It's like, then why?
That's not funny.
No, it's not. It could have been funny.
Yeah, it could have, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just wasted our time.
Exactly.
Like, what is the point of even having Swamp Thing in here?
Because
they hired John DiMaggio and they needed him to do something.
It's dumb.
Yeah, it's stupid. And they also showed a picture of him earlier, so they wanted to.
Oh yeah.
They wanted to bring him back, and then they're like, Swamp Thing goes away. And he's like, do what you're going to do, destroy the world, I don't care. They're planning on destroying all plant life, too.
Yeah. It's like, why not stop this guy? Like, come on.
They said that isn't their plan, but they say there's a chance that their formula can destroy everything.
Yeah, it's just not worth the risk.
So, and then Swamp Thing just goes back to the green, and it's like, okay, I guess that's it. And Batman and I keep saying Robin.
Yeah, say Nightwing.
Batman and Nightwing look at each other like, what are we going to do? We can't stop him. This is over. And then Harley tries to keep interrupting and says, he's made of leaves, right? Can't we just set him on fire? And then, completely out of character, Batman kisses Harley on the cheek along with Nightwing. They both kiss her on the cheek, and then it gives the Looney Tunes circle and then just ends.
Like,
how do you not give a resolution to your freaking story?
Right? Like, we're like, what? And we see the guy catch on fire and run around, but like, this wasn't the tone of the movie. This is not the tone of the damn movie. What's going on? Stupid.
Now, you have a paint by numbers supervillain story happening, and then you don't finish it?
Right?
I've never seen an ending like that.
No.
That is probably and
because that's a joke ending.
This is worse than Peanut Butter Falcon.
It really, like, that's a joke ending. It's an ending where you're like, I don't know. Yeah, let's end it this way. Is that funny, guys? Like, no.
No, this is like, we're out of time. Whoop.
But it's only an hour 14, so they had time.
I know. It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
Dumb. I was watching this, like, I hope TJ doesn't like this movie. I really hope. So I'm glad we're on the same page with this, TJ.
No, I hated this movie.
It was.
I was surprised at how horrible this movie is.
And again, I'll give this movie. There's some times where it's funny. There's a little bit of the fart joke. Okay. The like, hey, Puddin', you know how I am on fire. My skin burns easily. It's a funny line. It's good.
Let's go back to the tone for a moment here.
Yeah.
Like, when she's talking to Nightwing, and Nightwing's just go, oh, you're a waitress, and she brings out a bunch of notices that no one's going to hire me because I'm a criminal.
Yeah.
That's a good story plot line, but what's it doing here?
Exactly.
And then they take that very serious matter, and in the at very end credit scenes, just make an entire joke out of it.
You want to talk about that terrible 5-minute end credit sequence that was so fucking pointless?
Yeah, so apparently Harley Quinn's got her own TV show now, like a Dr. Phil kind of segment, but she's not allowed to give medical advice. Have you ever seen Dr. Phil or anything?
Yeah, right? She can still do her pseudoscience bullshit.
Yeah, she can still do it. She's just, like she said, she can't be accredited. But no, so the idea is, if it's not like a Dr. Phil show, it's a game show, and if the person who needs
therapy or whatever.
Yeah, there's a person who needs therapy, and if he can complete the game show, they get a year free of therapy, and then they got to run through an obstacle course.
Yep.
And then at the end, the guy who really needs therapy doesn't get therapy. Yay?
Yeah.
Yay? We're supposed to cheer that?
Right?
What? This movie is terrible.
It's bad. It's really stupid. It's bad. It's like there's very little, like, okay redeeming things to it. And I'll say I wasn't angry or pissed while watching it. I was just, like, disappointed at, like, how stupid and a waste of time it was.
I was, like, 10 minutes in, and I was like, I gotta start taking notes, because I didn't want to forget anything.
I respect it, because there's a lot. There's a lot of nothing and stupid in this movie.
This movie is so garbage. I couldn't believe, how do you f*** up Batman and Harley Quinn?
Like, you have time for a dumb sing-along part in the middle of the movie, and you still don't end it. Like, you still don't end the movie.
That's the biggest problem with this movie too, which is boggles my mind. They don't understand who Batman and Harley Quinn is.
No.
And Bruce Timm created Harley Quinn.
Maybe this is his Harley Quinn.
Maybe, but like Harley Quinn wasn't in comics first. She started in the animated series. Yeah. He created her. He should have a better grasp on the character than anybody, but obviously not.
Maybe. Okay, here's my theory for this movie, TJ. So 13 minutes into the movie, Harley Quinn fights.
So, hold on, before you get into your theory, let me just say this.
Yeah.
The screenplay was by Bruce Timm and Jim Krieg. I don't know who Jim Krieg is.
I don't know who that is either.
Maybe it was him.
You're gonna blame him? Nah.
Maybe it was.
Jim Krieg was he on the movie where Batman has sex with a Batwoman girl?
No.
Yeah, so I think it's Bruce Timm.
Well, I'm just saying. I just want to throw out that option out there before anyone says Bruce Timm didn't write it by himself. But I'm just wanted to throw that out there.
That's fair, I guess. I suppose that's fair. That's good.
Oh, by the way, It was Brian Azzarello who wrote The Killing Joke. Not Bruce Timm, but Bruce Timm did produce it, and it was his comments about the Batgirl that we were upset about. Like, he was the one that fought for that.
Who did? Bruce? Not Bruce.
Bruce Timm. Yeah,
fought for Batgirl to
sleep with. Yeah, because he always liked that relationship.
Gross. It's a fine relationship, but it's not a fine romantic relationship.
No, she's like his daughter.
Yeah, exactly. That part's fine, but they should not be doing the dance.
Well, to be fair, Barbara Gordon's actually more like his niece because.
Oh, either way, I don't want to see him having sex with us.
Right? Yeah, I know. Yeah. But like Jim Gordon's his friend. Because Dick.
He's the godfather. Like, I could take advantage of her because we're not technically related, guys.
Yeah, it's gross. Nah. Yeah,
she's clearly going through some shit. You're gonna take advantage of that. Good job, Batman. You're bad in this situation. So my theory for this movie is: Harley Quinn is fighting Nightwing in this movie, right? In the first act. And she gets a laughing gas thing poisoned into him. Yeah. So maybe it's the 2/3 after this movie is just his fever dream, and he's just on the alley laughing his shit off. Like, maybe this is through his perspective, and like, this is a weird tone. Maybe it's
that's an excuse.
That's my excuse for this movie. Is like, he's suffering through all that shit, and that's why we're sitting through this.
I hate those fucking theories.
So do I, but I'm trying to make this not as miserable as it was, because it's still a bad movie.
No, it's miserable.
Just my headcanon says.
I don't know if you don't play video games, no. But back in the I'm gonna say 90s, there was you know what Final Fantasy is, though, right? Of course. Well, Final Fantasy VIII is one of the most controversial games in the series because it's not as good as the other ones.
Yeah.
But some people really love that series and some people don't. But the game was 4 discs long.
Yes.
At the end of the first disc, the main character, Squall, gets killed, gets an icicle through his heart, and in the second disc, he wakes up and he's in a prison. So, and then from the second disc on, the game goes into like time travel nonsense and all kinds of weird shit happenings. And one of the theories for a long time fan theories was that he actually died at the end of the first disc. That's why the rest of it is like that. No, they just made a bad game.
Yeah.
Stop defending the game.
Yeah. But you see, like, they're really smart about it, and like it's just weird and wacky because
it's just
as people
just,
trying to defend a shit product.
Yep, that's what all those theories do, is try to defend garbage writing.
Yeah.
And even the creators came out and said, no, he didn't die.
This is why I don't like fan theories. Like when people try to like Jar Jar Binks was actually secret Sith Lord. No, it's just bad character. Sorry guys. It's terrible.
I don't think Jar Jar was a bad character.
Yeah, so Batman and Harley Quinn, guys.
I don't think he was a bad character. I think he's exactly what he was designed
Yes,
to.
a bad character. Yes, exactly.
No, he's just a comedy character for kids. That's all he was.
And a bad way of doing that.
Was he though?
Yes.
Was he?
Yeah, you can die on the hill all you want. You can support Jar Jar all you want. When I was a child, I enjoyed his antics. I'm not gonna lie. I was a stupid kid.
He's there exactly. He does what he's supposed to do.
When I was a child, I did like Temple of Doom. It's not good. As a child, I liked a lot of dumb shit. So they did.
Temple of Doom is awesome. What are you talking about?
It's great. It's the best Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Well, no, Last Crusade's the best one.
Oh, clearly, it's 3, 1, 2, 4, 5.
But it's sure, but that's still not making it a bad movie.
It makes it a weaker of the trilogy.
Sure, but it's not 4 or 5
because those didn't exist at the time. Now overall, but yeah, still in the middle of the road.
Is it 4 or 5 or is it 5-4?
I didn't see the 5th one yet. I think it might be good.
I did not.
Yeah, so as of right now,
because I'm just trying to say it's kind of hard to be worse than Shia LaBeouf and Aliens.
Yeah, no, I don't mind the alien aspect. I just didn't care for the
Shia LaBeouf part.
He was okay in it too, I guess.
No, it wasn't.
My overall hatred for that movie was just the ugly CGI shit in it, and Shia LaBeouf wasn't good in it.
And the bad actor that is Shia LaBeouf.
Well, what you say, Jar Jar? He did exactly what he's supposed to do in the movie.
That, like, you were supposed to try and change my mind on Shia LaBeouf and failed miserably.
Hey, Peanut Butter Falcon was, like I said, it's better than this movie. So that's something.
Yeah, but that's like saying food is better than shit.
He was okay in Constantine. He wasn't okay in that.
No, he wasn't.
He was so glad he died in that movie. Listen, he's an actor, okay? Anyways, Harley Quinn and Batman. Harley Quinn.
Not a very good actor. The only reason why he had a job is because he was in a very successful series. Yeah.
Great show. Even Stevens, baby. Even then, he was the annoying kid in that, but... And
not even that. And then he got put in a very successful terrible movie series.
Oh, Transformers, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Oh, God, he was bad in those. Those are bad movies.
So, like, he's only popular because he was lucky.
T-dates. Batman and Harley Quinn.
Look, I want to talk about anything.
I know.
All right.
I guess we talked about all of it, so let's rate this trash movie. You want to go first or me to go first?
Yeah, my number is set in. Do you have?
You're probably out of 1, huh? I'll do my shit. I'll defend this movie. So from beginning to end, I did enjoy the animation style.
I did.
Some of the jokes were okay. There was far and few between, but there was like 2 or 3 good jokes I chuckled at.
Uh-huh.
I like the song that was sung in it by the twins, not by Harley.
Come on,
I don't know what to give this.
Find something.
I started at a 5, then I went down to a 4.
Really? You started at a 5?
Yeah, because when I was watching the movie, I was like, okay, it was something. But the more we talked about it, like, no, this was a bad movie. Yeah, I started at 5 because like when I was finished, I was like, that was something, I guess. Like I don't know how I feel. I went
in at a 5.
Yeah,
yeah, because I didn't have any expectations of this movie.
That's what I usually do too. I go in at a 5, but I was like, I left at a 5. I'm like, that was something in a moment. But like, no, it doesn't. I think it's just. I don't hate this as much as you do. I really don't. Because I could put this on again and like have it in the background on mute. Because I think the dialogue is just because there's too much Harley Quinn. Like she's way too annoying and like a bad caricature in this movie. Like she's super not fun to watch this movie or listen to. I would give this I want to give it a 3. I felt 3's too high. I'll give this a 3 out of 10. I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 10, TJ.
Okay. That way you're sticking with?
Yeah. I think 2 is too low. I don't think this is a 2 for me. I think it's a bad 3. It's a very bad, don't watch it 3. So, yeah. And I'll say I think the visuals mostly hold it up for me. If it wasn't this animation style, it'd probably be a 1. But I like this animation style, so it's a 3 out of 10. Okay. to you?
No, this is the second worst movie I've ever seen for this podcast. And this is without a doubt the worst written script I've ever experienced. Ever. Even worse. At least the Wonder Woman movie had a beginning, middle, and end. Even though I hate that movie slightly more, at least it had a structure. This did not have a freaking structure. This movie is a 1. A 1 out of 10. Not the worst one. Second worst one, though. 1.
Yeah, like, you're not wrong. There is no structure thing.
Like, they can't even get basic writing right.
This is offensively bad. You're not wrong.
Like, it literally does not have an ending.
It doesn't. It doesn't have an ending yet. It has enough nerve to have a 2 to 5 minute post credit sequence.
Not only does it not have an ending, and it has 2 second acts.
It's such a bad movie. But I think that's why I give it a 3, because like it's almost on the verge of like it's so bad it's kind of good, and I hate that sentence.
No,
I don't think those exist, but like, for some reason it's like this scratched the itch where like this is really bad, but I kind of like I'm not angry or like offended by this. Maybe because also it's like only an hour 14, so it's bad for an hour and it kind of gets out. So like, wasn't the worst thing I sat through.
Yeah, but if you're furious at it for an hour and 14 minutes, does that really make a difference?
Yes. Like this was bad from beginning to end, so like, okay.
I have not felt this much hatred towards a movie since one.
See, I don't feel that. I'm jealous you have a feeling towards this movie. I'm just so indifferent.
It's just an insult to people who put in work into writing.
It is.
How does something like this become like? It's like if this thing can be made, anything can be fucking made.
And it was put into theaters too, TJ.
Yeah, and it was in theaters. This is ridiculous. If anything, this movie should inspire any creative to work on something to get popular.
Wow.
Or this is just an example of the rot in our things that stuff like this can be made and good creators can't get anything made.
If you have a name behind you, a power, you can make this kind of material happen.
Yeah. So all that to 1.
And I'm not even angry at that. Like everything you're saying is so spot on. It's a very bad movie. It's very bad.
Yeah. And I'm done with it. I'm tired of even giving. I'm upset that we gave it this much spotlight. So now that we did it, it's done.
No, we're not done yet, TJ. I think you talked me down to it. It's a 2. It's a 2 out of 10. My official review is a 2 out of 10. Okay, now say it.
Now that we did it, it's done.